The number of migrants living under a Del Rio, Texas bridge is now more than 14,000, according to CBP agents on the ground. The mass of people who are mostly Haitian immigrants began arriving at the U.S. border in droves on Tuesday. Today, the Department of Homeland Security announced a plan to bring them home. News Nation's Michael Shore joins us live in Los Angeles with details. Michael, good evening to you.
Good evening, Aaron. That's right. The Homeland Security Department is now saying that they are going to start ramping up the numbers of these deportation flights that will fly these migrants back to Haiti. Most of them are from Haiti, some from Cuba and Venezuela. And of course, you know, I've spent some time on that southern border. There are migrants from everywhere, but the ones that have camped out under that international bridge that separates Del Rio, Texas from Acuña, Mexico, are Haitian immigrants or migrants, and they're going to be sent back. Those flights have been cut off since the earthquake there on August 14th. They've resumed now, and they say that they're ramping them up to 8 this week and then 10 flights in the ensuing week to see if that helps to stem the tide there. But they are leery in the Haitian community. I spoke with James Pierre, a journalist who covers sort of all things Haitian, but especially immigration.
Having these Haitians going back to Haiti, it's like a nightmare. Remember, 75% of the Haitian population now living with less than $2 a day. Many of these immigrants right now, they don't have a home in Haiti. They don't have a place to go.
And that's a big problem, obviously. And the glut of migrants in underneath that bridge in Del Rio is also causing these lateral flights. They're not talked about as much, but the U.S. government and the Homeland Security Department sending some of those other Haitians to different immigration points along the southern border. So they could be flown to California, where I am. They could be flown to other parts of Texas, to Arizona, New Mexico. They're going to try and disperse those numbers that are there, Aaron.
Michael, before you go, we heard from Senator Ted Cruz yesterday here on News Nation, very upset, pointing the finger at the Democratic Party. What are you hearing from lawmakers about what is happening there on the border?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, the lawmakers, obviously Republicans, are upset with what's gone on. They say this is Biden administration policy. They're talking about the fact that it may be open borders and open season, but the mere fact is that these numbers were not anticipated. They came very quickly. Here are some of those lawmakers, or perhaps even Senator Ted Cruz, talking a little bit about what's upsetting them.
This is a disaster, and it is a man-made disaster. It is the result of political decisions, and Joe Biden could end this tomorrow by simply following the law.
Now, I'm not sure that Joe Biden and the administration, that was from Thursday when Ted Cruz was there in Del Rio. I don't think they listened to Ted Cruz and made this change happen. A lot of this has to do with the fact that these flights, these deportation flights from Texas of those Haitians were ceased because of that earthquake. Haiti could not have the infrastructure to take these people back. Now they've resumed, the president says, because of the fact the numbers are so high, but they do have the infrastructure to accept these flights now in Haiti. Aaron?
Hey, very quickly before you go, Michael, a question for myself. I want to make sure that I understand this. How are these people from Haiti getting to the border?
Well, you know, it's really interesting. A lot of them left. They fled Haiti to other parts of South America. Many of these migrants have made this treacherous pass through, who have been living in, let's say, Brazil, Paraguay, Argentina, making this pass all the way up through Central America to try and get to the United States. Some of these other countries have less stringent border control, a lot easier to pass by boat into some of these South American countries and then sort of migrate down. Well, now they're migrating back up because the word was that the borders were open. Now the Biden administration saying, no, in fact, the borders are not open and you're going home.